Welcome you all for Tungal online classes. So yesterday we started the chapter moving charges and magnetism in part 1. So after current electricity, the next chapter, that is moving charges and magnetism. Yesterday we have seen up to Lorentz force, correct? So motion of a charged particle, motion in a combined electric and magnetic fields. Combined electric and magnetic fields. So yesterday we have seen when a charged particle is moving in a space where electric field and magnetic fields are present, then it will experience a force. Total net force is due to force due to electric field plus force due to magnetic field. Even we called this force name as Lorentz force, which is given by Q into E bar plus V bar cross B bar. Yesterday we have seen, so what is the expression for magnetic force? Magnetic force acting on a charge is given by Q into V bar cross B bar. The direction of this magnetic force given by Fleming's left hand rule. So this force name is called as what? Lorentz force. Now based on this topic only, today we will discuss regarding velocity selector. What is velocity selector? Velocity selector is an experimental setup. It is a one setup to obtain a particle of required velocity, to separate the particles from the beam of particles. If I want a particular particle of particular velocity, so we can go for this method, that is called as velocity selector. What is that method name? Is velocity selector. In this velocity selector, so we need to apply both electric field and magnetic field which are mutually perpendicular. So if they are, how they are? Mutually perpendicular. Now what I consider is, let me consider a charged particle moving with a velocity v bar. How does the particle moving? So with a velocity v bar. Are you getting around? So now what is the charge value? Q. So when it is moving with a velocity v bar, this is the direction of E bar, electric field intensity. Then you know that force acting due to electric field, that is in the direction of E bar when Q is a positive charge. So what is the force acting due to electric field given by, so which is given by Q into E bar, right? That direction of force is along y axis. The direction of force is along y axis. This is x axis and this is z axis. So whenever a particle moving with a velocity v bar, when particle moving with a velocity v bar, it will experience a magnetic force. So what is the magnetic force value given by? So Fe is equal to Q into V bar cross B bar. Okay, Nara? Since V bar and B bar both are perpendicular, the value of Fb is equal to Q into V into B. Similarly, the value of Fe is equal to Q into E. How can I find the direction of this Fb? The direction of Fb can be calculated by using which rule? Fleming's left hand rule. According to the Fleming's left hand rule, then which one indicate? So this is indicate the thumb, forefinger is indicating the direction of magnetic field. Okay, then central finger is indicating the direction of velocity. Then thumb will indicate the direction of force acting. So if I apply that, this is the direction of this. So what I will get? This is the direction of velocity. This is the direction of velocity, and this is the direction of magnetic field. So we will get the force value like this direction. So this is the direction of which one? Magnetic force. How magnetic force and electric force both are along the same line but opposite in direction. If we adjust them, both of them, in a such a way that if the force due to electric field will be equal to force due to magnetic field, what we need to adjust? We need to adjust the values of electric field intensity and magnetic field induction such a way that force due to electric field is exactly equal and opposite to force due to magnetic field. What is force due to electric field? QE. Force due to magnetic field QE into V into B. So Q value cancel. So V value is equal to E divided by B. What does it mean? Whenever the force due to electric field will be equal to force due to magnetic field, the net force acting on the charge will become 0. When net force acting will be 0, then what happens? So particle will follow straight line path. In which path initially particle going? So it will follow the same straight line path. Initially it is going along x-axis. Path of the particle is unaffected. So particle is undeviated. But when force due to electric field is exactly equal to force due to magnetic field. When force due to electric field is equal to force due to magnetic field, then both E bar and B bar are said to be crossed. When electric fields and magnetic fields are said to be crossed means if the force due to electric field is exactly equal to force due to magnetic field, then both are said to be crossed. Okay, Nara? Then particle path will be undeviated. Means you have to select a lattice allowing the many number of bundle of beam of particles into the space. Only which particle will satisfy whose particle having velocity V is equal to E by B, that particle path will be undeviated. It will follow straight line path. That method of selecting a particle from the beam of particles is called as velocity selector. What is that phenomena name? Velocity selector. How can we select? By applying electric field and magnetic fields which are mutually perpendicular to each other. We can select which one? A single particle. So this method of velocity selector employed by the scientist J.J. Thomson in the year 1864 for determining the specific charge of the electron. Specific charge. What is specific charge of electron? Which is given by charge by mass. This charge by mass ratio was determined, even charge of the electron also calculated by this J.J. Thomson. So J.J. Thomson calculated this specific capacity by using not a specific capacity, specific charge by the method of which one? Velocity selector. Even this velocity selector phenomena will be also used in mass spectrometer. Mass spectrometer is a device which is used to separate the ions based on their specific charge. Based on their specific charge, to separate the ions, the device which is used, that is mass spectrometer. Mass spectrometer is also based on the phenomena of velocity selector. Understood, Ara? So this is related with the yesterday topic, the concept of velocity selector. Velocity selector you can ask, so they may ask the question for either 1 mark or 2 marks. But remember, so even this expression for velocity V is equal to E by B, we will come to know in electromagnetic waves also. Okay, so what is the velocity with which a particle will move? The electric field and magnetic field both are cross, then value of V given by E by B. Understood, Anna? Concept okay na? So concept wise, so concept. So once listen carefully, so you need to get the concept clearly. If the concept is understood, then so you can go through whatever it may be, either competitive exam, NEET, JEE, CET. Basically it is depends upon the concept, basic concept. Once the basic concept is understood means that competitive exams are based on applications of this concept. So you need to get the concept clearly, follow the classes properly. If any doubts are there, so clarify with the concerned lectures. Okay na? Then this is for velocity selector. After completion of the velocity selector, till now if you want even in terms of marks point of view also, I told to you 1 mark question they asked, the magnetic effect of electric current discovered by the scientist Oersted. The next question, what is velocity selector? or otherwise the next question is what is Fleming's left hand rule? Okay Nara? Then when electric field and magnetic fields are said to be cross, what is the velocity of a particle? So if it is moving through a crossed electric and magnetic fields. After that, now first important 3 marks question of this chapter. So which one? Magnetic force or force acting on a current carrying conductor. Current carrying conductor. Whenever if I told the force means which force, always you have to remember. Here it is the magnetic force only. Now. Very important first 3 marks question of this chapter. To derive this derivation, it is related with the relation between the current and drift velocity. I is equal to N into E into A into Vd. Can you remember? In current electricity, we have studied the relation between current and drift velocity. What is N? Number density, number of free electrons per unit volume. E is the charge of the each electron, A is the area of cross section, Vd is the drift velocity. From this, I by A which is equal to J which is equal to N into E into Vd, where J called as current density. Current is a scalar, but current density is a vector quantity. Okay Nara? Now what I want to derive? I want to derive expression for magnetic force acting on a current carrying conductor. A conductor was kept in external magnetic field. Now I want to derive what is the expression for magnetic force acting. Okay Nara? Expression for magnetic force acting. One important point I forgot to tell here is throughout this chapter we will follow one notation. Whenever a magnetic field or electric current which is perpendicular to plane passing into the paper, passing out of the paper or not into the paper, there are 2 notations we will use. So one is passing into, one is passing out. If I need anywhere magnetic field or current or electric field intensity, electric field which is perpendicular to plane passing out of the paper, that is represented by dot. Dot means you need to remember passing out of the paper. Perpendicular to plane, field is perpendicular to plane and passing out of the paper. Can you remember? Whenever if you see a dot like this, magnetic field is perpendicular to plane passing out of the paper. So whenever if you see in a cross symbol, it is field is perpendicular to plane. This is a notation for field is perpendicular to plane and passing out of the paper, passing into the paper. Understood Ara? In both the cases either dot or cross, perpendicular only, but inward means cross, outward means dot. Either it may be a current or most probably here we will use this notation for magnetic field. Here B bar, magnetic field B bar. Yesterday we discussed how electric field will be represented by a vector, magnetic field also represented by a vector. That vector name is called as magnetic field induction. What is that? Magnetic field induction. Can you remember that now? Dot o cross o. Perpendicular to plane passing out of the paper, dot. Perpendicular to plane passing into the paper is cross. After this, now let us see. So let us consider a uniform magnetic field of induction. So here which is perpendicular to plane of the board and passing into the board, let us suppose. Now in this, let me consider one conductor of length value. So conductor length value L and area of cross section value is A, and number of free electrons per unit length value, number of free electrons per unit volume that is, let me call n. Let n is the number of free electrons per unit volume. Now actually what happened? So through this conductor current is passing. Current is passing. Okay, Nara? So now what happened? Current is nothing but rate of flow of charge. If I consider a single charge, whenever a single charge will experience a force when it is moving in a magnetic field. But current is nothing but a rate of flow of charges. If many charges are moving in a magnetic field which constitute a current, will it make any force acting on a conductor? Yes. Single force is single charge moving in a magnetic field, so it is causing a force to act on it. But current is the many number of charges are moving through a conductor which is placed in external magnetic field. So because of the force on each charge carrier, the conductor will experience a force. Now we want to derive expression for that force. Okay, Nara? Now you tell me what are the total number of, so total free charge present inside the conductor. Can I call this is Q? Q value given by N into A into L into E. What is N? N is the number of free charges per unit volume. How can I calculate? So total number of charges in a given volume. Total number of charges if I want to calculate is, so that is Q is equal to, N value is equal to Q divided by V. N is nothing but what? Number of free charges per unit volume. If I want to calculate Q is given by N into V. What is V? Volume. What is volume value? A into L. What is each one charge value? E. What are the free charges in a conductor? Electrons. Which electrons? Free electrons. So what is the total free charge given by Q is equal to N into A into L into E. Does all the free electrons will experience a force? Only one electron will experience a force. All. What is the total net force acting on all the electrons, or total net force acting on the conductor given by, so Q into V bar cross B bar. Okay, Nara? So what is VD bar here? VD bar is called as drift velocity. Which velocity? Drift velocity of each electron. What is drift velocity? You know. What is drift velocity in current electricity chapter? The average velocity with which electrons are drifted in a direction opposite to applied electric field. But there for electrons to drift, electric field needed to apply. Understood? Here already we discussed it inside the conductor, so current is passing. What is the reason or what is the source for current to pass? That is not necessary. I consider only a current carrying conductor was placed in external electric field. But current to flow, what is needed? Velocity needed. Which velocity? Drift velocity. But here you know that. So velocity direction, so velocity, drift velocity VD, VD bar and B bar both are perpendicular. Correct? Or otherwise keep it like this only. So then what I will get? F bar. Q value how much? N into, so A into L into which one? VD bar cross B bar. Can I write? Which is given by F bar is equal to N into, so which one? Into E also there, na? N into A into E. So can I write N into, so L into or N into E into VD. Which one I will write outside is, so I will write the outside value A into L inside N into E into VD bar cross B bar. Okay, Nara? But N into E into VD bar, so current density. What is current density? Current density is a vector quantity. So current density J bar is equal to current per unit area, which is equal to N into, so E into VD. Correct? Then what I will get? F bar. F bar is equal to, can be written as A into L into J bar cross B bar in vector notation, which can be also written as F bar is equal to, so current density J means I by A. So I is equal to, from this I is equal to J into E. Here J is there, here A is there. So what can I write? F bar is equal to I into L bar cross B bar. In place of what I written? In place of J into A, I written I. But remember, current density is a vector quantity. J bar is a vector, but current is a scalar. So where this vector quantity direction is there now? So this direction or arrow will be given to our L bar. What is L bar is called as, generally length means we will consider scalar, but here we will consider L bar as a vector. So what is L bar? L bar is the length element, and direction of L bar will be same as that of direction of I. Though current has both magnitude and direction, it does not obey laws of vector addition. So due to that reason, current is a which quantity? Scalar quantity. You cannot assign the direction for current. That's why the direction will be transferred to our L bar. So F bar is equal to I into which one? L bar cross B bar. Understood, Ara? So which can be also written as F bar is equal to, this one can be written as I into L into B into sin theta into n cap. If I want only magnitude, which is given by F is equal to BIL sin theta, bill sin theta. You can remember easily, bill, any bill. So what is that BIL? You know that now? Whenever a conductor of length L, area of cross section A, carrying a current I, when placed in external magnetic field of induction B, the force acting given by F is equal to BIL sin theta. What is theta here? Theta is the angle between B bar and L bar. So direction of L bar should be taken in the direction of I. So whenever if theta is equal to 90, if theta as per given diagram, if theta 90, so what happened to F? F value is equal to B into I into L. Okay, Nara? Can you remember this? This is the expression for which one? Magnetic force acting on a straight current carrying conductor placed in external, so uniform magnetic field. For any arbitrary conductor, the formula for F will be given by, so F is equal to I into, so summation of dl bar cross b bar. If they given, whenever if they given the conductor here straight conductor, but every time conductor may not be straight. If it is any arbitrary shape, we will divide the conductor into number of elements. So total length value will be given by summation of dl bar cross b bar. Concept understood, Ara? What is the conclusion? Whenever a current carrying conductor placed in external uniform magnetic field or external magnetic field, it will experience a force. The direction of this force also can be calculated by using Fleming's left hand rule. So direction will be given by which rule? Fleming's left hand rule can be applicable for finding the direction of this force acting on a current carrying conductor. According to that rule here, so forefinger is indicating, so three fingers mutually stress, 4, and the next one is the central finger and the thumb. Here forefinger is indicating the direction of B bar, central finger is indicating the direction of IRA, current. In case of charge, so we will write, so central finger is indicating the direction of velocity, but now central finger is indicating the direction of current, then thumb will indicate the direction of F bar. So that is Fleming's left hand rule can be applicable for finding the direction of magnetic force acting on a current carrying conductor. If I want to calculate for this case, so this is the direction of which one? Magnetic field which is passing into the paper. Okay, Nara? So magnetic field is perpendicular to plane passing into the paper. Okay. Forefinger is indicating the direction of B bar. So central finger is indicating the direction of which one? I bar. Then what happened? So thumb will indicate the direction of force acting. So this is this one. Okay, Nara? These three should be mutually perpendicular. And one more important point yesterday I forgot is, what is the direction given by Fleming's left hand rule? So that is for a positive charge. When I consider a negative charge, So direction will be opposite to which charge? The positive charge. For example, force acting on a positive charge is along positive y-axis. Then the negative charge, it will be along negative y-axis. Are you getting it? So that is Fleming's left-hand rule. For what purpose? For finding direction of force acting on a charge and also force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in external uniform magnetic field. Concept clear? Next. So last topic for this class. When a particle is moving in external magnetic field, we want to concentrate what is the path followed by the particle. So motion in external magnetic field. Motion of what? Motion of a charged particle in external magnetic field. Whenever a charged particle is moving in external magnetic field, so then what is the motion or what is the path followed by that charged particle? Okay, so very important concept for numericals. Directly they won't ask the question for 3 marks, but these points are important for doing numericals. So let us consider magnetic field is applied like a B bar and particle is started moving, so with a velocity V bar or particle somewhere. So what I want to tell is, here particle is, the velocity with which particle is moving is V bar. Not compulsory every time particle has to move perpendicular to B bar. I will consider this is the direction of B bar. Magnetic field apply like this. Particle started moving. One external magnetic field I will consider B bar and velocity let me consider V bar. Perpendicular or parallel, that will come to know later. By yesterday discussion, magnetic force acting on a charge moving in a magnetic field is given by F is equal to QVB sin theta. Only magnitude. Direction we know. Direction given by Fleming's left hand rule. The magnitude of magnetic force acting on a charge moving in a magnetic field. So that is FB. Yesterday we have seen first case, if whenever theta is equal to either 0 or 180. Whenever theta is equal to 0 or 180 means that is particle is entered, particle is moving parallel to B bar. So B bar is like this. Now this diagram not necessary. Now particle also moving, this is the direction of B bar. Particle also moving in the same direction of B bar. Theta value 0. So that time what happened to FB? FB value 0. Here theta value 0 and similarly for theta 180, particle moving in a direction opposite to B bar. Then theta value 180. When theta value 180 also, FB value 0. What does it mean? If a particle whenever enter into the magnetic field parallel to B bar, the particle will not experience any magnetic force. Due to that reason, the path of the particle is undeviated. Means particle will follow same straight line path. Path is not going to be changes. And obviously second condition, if velocity, if V is equal to 0. V is equal to 0 means that is particle is at rest. Particle at rest. A stationary particle will not experience any magnetic force. Particle move agbekanದ್ರೆ force is needed to apply. So though if I put one stationary particle in external uniform magnetic field, it will not move. It will remain in the same state of rest only. So this is FB value equal to 0. And third point is very important for us. Whenever particle enter into the magnetic field perpendicularly, when theta value 90. Theta value 90 means how B bar and V bar. So this is the direction of B bar and this is the direction of V bar. So that is V bar is perpendicular to B bar. So that time what happen? The particle will experience maximum magnetic force, F max. F max value given by Q into V into B. F max is equal to Q into V into B. Okay, Nara? So no doubt force acting on a particle is not zero. Here since force is zero, particle will remain to move in the same straight line path. Here force is zero, so that's why particle will not start its motion itself. But there so force is there, but it is acting perpendicular. But so what is the work done by the magnetic force is given by work done is the dot product of force and displacement, F bar dot S bar. So S bar direction will be along the direction of V bar only, na? So what is the angle between F bar and S bar? So that is FB into S into cos 90. Cos 90 value is 0, so what happened to work done will be 0. What does it mean? Whenever particle is enter into the uniform magnetic field perpendicularly, so it will not, the magnetic force will not do any work. You know that. In first chapter you studied, in first year. So particle when order to accelerate, work done should be positive. Particle to be deaccelerate, work done will be negative. So velocity will remains constant or acceleration 0 whenever the particle force is applied perpendicularly or work done value 0. So when work done value 0, then what happened to the particle path? Particle will take a circular path. Particle will move in a circular path of constant velocity. Why particle will move in a circular path? The force due to magnetic field will not allow the particle to move in a straight line. So compulsory the path of the particle will be deviated. But that force is not so providing to increase the velocity. That force will not provide any acceleration. Though acceleration 0, so what happens? Magnitude of velocity will remains constant. Particle will describe which path? So particle will describe circular path. Particle will move in a circular path. When particle will move in a circular path, whenever particle is entered into the uniform magnetic field perpendicularly. You should get clearly why particle will move in a circular path. The force due to magnetic field will make the particle to move in a circular path. Is that force will make so particle velocity to increase? No. Is that force to make particle to accelerate? No. Is that force to make particle to deaccelerate? No. So what is that work did by that force? Will be 0. Are you getting around? So that's fine. Particle will take which path? Circular path. I want to see what is a radius of the circular path. Radius of the circular path. Whenever particle is entered into the magnetic field, so perpendicularly. Let me consider a uniform magnetic field which is applied perpendicular to plane of the board passing into. Now in this uniform magnetic field, a particle is entered with a velocity v bar. So due to perpendicularly, then what happened to the particle will take a circular path. So I want to derive the expression for radius of the circular path, the circular path radius. So you know that for a particle to move in a circular path, it needed a centripetal force, which is m into v square by r. A particle of mass m moving with the velocity v in a circular path of radius r. So centripetal force formula m into v square by r. That you know that now. But you know that for any particle to execute the centripetal force, so force is centripetal to move in a circular path, centripetal force needed to be provided. For a electron to move in a circular path, electrostatic force will provide necessary centripetal force. For the planet to move in around the sun, the gravitational force will provide the necessary centripetal force. Similarly, for the particle to move in a circular path, so which one will provide the centripetal force? The magnetic force will provide the centripetal force. What is centripetal force value? m into v square by r. So what is the magnetic force value? QVB. Sin theta will be there or will not be there? Will not be there. Why will not be there? Sin 90 value. Particle entered perpendicularly. So that's why So 1v value cancel. What happened to r? R value is equal to m into v divided by qb. This is the expression for radius. The radius of the circular path described by the particle which is entered into the uniform magnetic field perpendicularly given by the formula r is equal to m into v divided by so q into b. Correct, Ara? So this radius value depends upon mass of the particle. This radius value depends upon velocity. This radius value inversely proportional to charge. Are you getting, Ara? For objective point of view also, this radius expression is very important. Even you can also write this r value is equal to p divided by q into b. What is p divided by q into b given by, where p is the momentum, r value is equal to p divided by q into b. But momentum can be written as root over 2 into m into e, the relation between kinetic energy and momentum. You know that now? So what is kinetic energy and momentum relation? Kinetic energy is equal to p square by 2m. From this momentum value p is equal to root over 2 into m into e. Understood, Ara? Many application questions they will ask. For example, a proton and electron enter into the magnetic field. Which one will describe the more circular path? Or a proton and alpha particle enter into the magnetic field. The radius described by the which particle will be more? Like many application questions can be asked. A proton and electron will enter into the same, having same kinetic energy, enter into the magnetic field. So which one will describe the circular path of more radius or less radius? So radius expression is very important. R value m into v divided by qb. But remember, when particle will describe the circular path, particle will describe the circular path whenever so particle is entered perpendicularly to uniform magnetic field, to the uniform magnetic field. After completion of this, what is R formula? R is equal to m into v by qb. From this what happened to v? Q into b into r divided by m. This is the expression for velocity. The velocity of particle. What is the velocity? Velocity of the particle. With what velocity particle will move in a circular path? Given by qbr by m. If I want to calculate the angular velocity, what is the angular velocity of rotation of the particle? That angular velocity relation v is equal to r into omega. Omega is called as v by r. We know the v value which is q into b by m value. So omega value is equal to qb by m. This angular velocity does not depends upon velocity. This angular velocity not depends upon which factor? So velocity it not depends upon which factor? Energy of the charged particle. By knowing the angular velocity, I want to calculate time period. What is the time taken by the particle to complete one rotation? So time period formula T is equal to 2 pi by m. So T is equal to 2 pi by omega, not m. So 2 pi by omega value qb by m will go to numerator. So T value given by 2 into pi into m by qb. So this is the expression for time period. These all expressions are very important. Simple numericals can be asked for subjective. But remember, in subjective level questions what they will ask the numericals. So they will ask directly based on the concept questions. So easily you can answer. So this is the expression for radius. This is the expression for velocity, expression for angular velocity and expression for time period. Even I can also write the expression for frequency. The number of rotations completed in 1 second. F value is equal to 1 by t, which is q into b by 2 pi. This is the expression for frequency. The frequency or number of rotations completed in 1 second. That is expression. This is when particle entered in a direction perpendicular to magnetic field. Till now we discussed 3 cases. When theta 0, particle path will be straight line. When theta 180, particle path also straight line, it will not deviate. But when theta is 90, particle path will be circular. It will move in which path? Circular path. So last case, the particle is entered into the magnetic field other than 90, which is not exactly 0, which is not 180, and which is not 90. That time, so what happened to the particle? So what does it mean? That is point number 4, fourth one. Now here magnetic field was there along x-axis b bar. Now particle is moving with a velocity v bar, entered by making an angle theta with b bar. Understood, Ara? The particle is entered by making an angle theta. The theta value not 0, theta value not 90, theta value not 180. If theta value either 0 or 180, particle path will be undeviated. If theta value 90, particle path will be circular. So whenever theta, so can I resolve the velocity into two components? This is v cos theta, this value v sin theta. Whenever particle is entered into the magnetic field of induction b bar by making an angle theta, its velocity is resolved into two components. One component parallel to b bar, that is called as v parallel. V parallel value v cos theta, another component v perpendicular, that value v sin theta. There are two components of velocities, particle velocity resolved into two components. But you know that. So magnetic force will not act, so on v cos theta, magnetic force will not act because both are parallel. Whenever both are parallel, v cos theta and b, so force acting on the v cos theta value is 0. So v cos theta will not changes. Like projectile, horizontal component of velocity will remain constant. But whereas the v sin theta value changes. So this v cos theta will make the particle to move in a circular path. But v sin theta component is perpendicular to particle, so it will make to move in a which path? So it will make particle to move in a circular path. V cos theta component is making to move in a straight line. It will make the particle to move in a straight line. It will make the particle to move in a circular path. So under the combined effect of these both, particle will follow helical path. Helical path. So what is the path followed by the particle is helical path. Are you getting up? When particle will follow helical path? Whenever particle entered into the magnetic field, so at an angle theta other than 90 or 0, so then it will follow helical path. Okay, Nara? For this helical path, the horizontal distance travelled in one time period is called as pitch. What is the pitch of the helical path? Pitch is nothing but a horizontal distance covered by the particle in one time period. Here the same round. So circular path will making who is making the particle to move in a circular path? V sin theta. Who is making the particle to move in a straight line path? V cos theta. The radius of the circular path, so that you know that. Now what is for one time period a particle completed? One rotation. For one time period what is the horizontal distance travelled? So that is called as pitch. If I want to calculate pitch, that is horizontal distance. So pitch is nothing but which one? Horizontal distance covered. Can I call it as like similar to that of projectile? R is the horizontal range. Can you remember for a projectile projected by making an angle theta, what is the horizontal distance travelled? N is the total time of flight. So here pitch is nothing but a horizontal range which is given by V parallel into T. How can I calculate distance? Velocity into time. Which component of velocity? Parallel component of velocity into time of flight. So P value given by, so V cos theta, V parallel value V cos theta, T value. So for a particle to move in a circular path, you know that. What is the time period formula? 2 into pi into m by qb. How we written? We written omega. Omega is equal to qb by m. Then T, last topic. Then what will get pitch value? So into 2 pi m divided by qb. Finally what I will get? P is equal to 2 into pi into m by q into b into v cos theta. This is the expression for pitch. Pitch definition important. What is pitch? Horizontal distance covered in its one time period. Okay, so this is called as pitch. This is the when particle will follow helical path. So this is about the topic motion of a particle in external uniform magnetic field. Understood, Ara? Okay, so go through your, if NCERT books are there means you go through, okay, then you will get still clarity. So remaining will continue tomorrow class. Okay, thank you.